Okay, so we're standing at this really wild intersection, right? You've got AI on one side and DeFi on the other. And when they come together, it's going to completely flip the script on how we think about our own knowledge. I mean, what if every single piece of data you ever created wasn't just some file you upload and forget about, but an actual asset? An asset that could earn you money forever. That's what we're digging into today, this idea of turning your contributions into permanent capital.
Yeah, think about how it works now. It's totally a one-way street, right? We create something, we hand it over, and poof, it's gone. It just disappears into some giant database, and we never see a dime from the value it creates. Well, that's the old way. The new way? It's a complete 180. We're talking about treating every single piece of data not as some dead, forgotten file, but as a living, breathing economic asset, something that works for you, generating value over and over again.
So here's the core idea, the whole premise. It's actually pretty simple, but man, it is profound. If we really want to tap into the insane growth that's coming from AI and DeFi smashing together, we've got to make a big shift in our thinking. We have to stop seeing our digital contributions as just disposable work. We've got to start seeing them for what they are, assets.
Okay, so how do we actually build this thing? Well, like any strong building, it all starts with the foundation. And in this case, it's built one tiny verifiable piece at a time. All right, at the absolute core of this whole system is something called an atomic asset. And that's exactly what it sounds like. It's the smallest, most fundamental building block of value. So every single contribution you make, for example, you label a photo of a cat for an AI training model, that one action gets its own unique digital fingerprint. It's not just some random piece of data anymore. Nope, it's a specific, identifiable unit of value that is tied directly to you.
And the process for this, it's honestly super straightforward. Check it out. First, you make a contribution. Instantly, boom, the system stamps it with that unique fingerprint, linking it to your identity and your reputation. And just like that, a simple click, a simple label, becomes a trusted, verified asset on the network. That's it.
Now, the key to this whole thing, the absolute linchpin, is trust. See, we're not just making up tokens for fun here. We're creating legitimate financial-grade assets. Every single one of these atomic assets is completely accountable and verifiable. And because of that, they can be backed by other real assets and used by huge institutional DeFi protocols. This isn't play money. This gives them real-world, rock-solid financial legitimacy.
Okay, so we've got these little atomic assets. But now let's talk about how they transform into something way, way bigger. Honestly, this is kind of where the magic happens. This is the step where your data really, truly becomes your property. So once a bunch of these atomic assets are all collected and verified, they don't just sit on some company's server, no way. They get minted on-chain. Now that sounds technical, but all it really means is they're turned into digital tokens that prove you own them, and that proof is stored on a super secure public database. This is the absolute game changer. This is the step that takes your knowledge from being just a file to being a tradable financial asset. You know, the best way to wrap your head around this is to think of it like digital real estate. It's like your knowledge becomes a little plot of land on the internet. You're not just a temp worker building someone else's skyscraper anymore. You actually own a piece of the building. It becomes tangible, it's yours, and it has real, undeniable value. And what's so cool about this digital real estate is how flexible it is. For one, it's fractionalized. That means you can own a tiny sliver of a huge, super valuable data set. It's also transferable. You can sell it, you can trade it, whatever you want. And all of that makes it a liquid asset. It's something you can actually turn into cash, something with a real market value that can keep paying you well into the future. Okay, so owning a valuable asset is great, but how do you actually get paid, right? How does this thing generate income? Let's dive into the engine of this whole system and see how ownership gets connected to real, actual recurring payments. Yeah, this is the big question, isn't it? The one everyone's really asking. You've got your piece of digital real estate. Now what? How does the money actually show up in your account? Well, the whole payout flow is built to be totally transparent. Here's how it works. An AI developer needs some high-quality data. They access it through a special gateway. That gateway acts like a meter, tracking every single time the data gets used and recording it on the blockchain. And then a royalty engine automatically kicks in and pays out all the owners. Simple as that. And what's so powerful about this is that it completely gets rid of the guesswork. No more black boxes. Every single time an AI uses your data, it creates a clear, transparent billing signal. You can literally watch the usage in real time, so you know right away if your asset is valuable and if people want it.
Okay, that last piece, the royalty engine, is the key. It's basically a smart contract, which is just a fancy term for a program that runs automatically on the blockchain. And its job is to split up the revenue. The payouts are guaranteed by the code itself, so they happen automatically and, most importantly, fairly. A slice goes to the original contributors, another slice goes to the current owners, and a little bit goes to a treasury to keep the whole system running smoothly. The best part? No middlemen, no waiting for someone to cut you a check.
All right, let's just zoom out for a second and look at the big picture here. When you put all of these pieces together, this isn't just some small tweak. This is a monumental shift in how we think about work itself. We're not just talking about a new way to make money from data, we're talking about a whole new economic paradigm. Think about it. In the old economy, you trade an hour of your time for an hour's worth of pay. End of story. But in this new economy, you contribute one high-quality data point, just once, and it becomes a living asset that pays you every single time an AI model uses it to think. It's a total game changer. So your knowledge, it's not just labor you're selling anymore. It's a yield-bearing asset. You stop being just a worker, and you become an investor. You're an investor in this kind of beautiful idea of a decentralized bank of human intelligence. You become an owner of capital. And that's really the powerful idea to leave you with. This isn't some far-off sci-fi dream. This stuff is being built right now. And it really forces us all to ask a pretty profound question. What if your knowledge became your permanent capital? What if every single insight you had wasn't just a passing thought, but became a foundational piece of your wealth? What would you build with that?